Welcome to a new Shadow Sister healing video. In my videos, I let your shadow meet your light, so you can be whole again. And as you can hear, I have been a little bit sick, but I still feel this reading is very important. This is the last episode of the Secret History Pick-a-Pile reading series. And yesterday, 20th of March, was the astrology New Year. There's been also the new moon in Pisces, and now today, 1st of March, is Equinox. And Equinox marks moment of balance between light and dark. And of course now Aries season has started, and it's time to take new risks, walk unfamiliar routes, and discover what we are capable of. We are invited to create our own path and be prepared to walk it alone if necessary. And remember that fortune favors the brave ones, and the mistakes are not failures but information. So anybody who are able to learn from their mistakes are fortunate. So this is a little message of the Aries season. We have here today a reading where I'm going to use my Shadow Sister Arcadia Goddess intuitive spread. And in the center of it's a guide. So when you are selecting now intuitively, I always call you to use your intuition in my pick-a-pile reading. You are now called to navigate to the one guide. Maybe you have more guides. These are all three now that are picked here. But pick one, for example, based on all these little hints that are in this pile. So let me introduce the piles. So your guide could be a heart, for example, heart chakra pile. And there is also a card of a house. Interesting, the number 4 is also connected to heart chakra. So home is where the heart is. It comes to me, but there is something like this. And then the shadow aspect to your reading will be always bottom of the deck, and it is 4 of Pentacle, Arnikratti, something to sit on your wealth. Anyway, this is shadow aspect. But your guide for today, if you pick this pile, number 1, is Animal Guardian. Trust your instincts. So this is pile number 1. Pile number 2 is Crown Chakra. And this Amethyst. The one card here is a ring, 25. You would get then this Crown Chakra related Tarot of the Shadow, Book of Shadow Tarot deck, and the bottom of the deck, Shadow aspect of your reading is Ace of Fire. Firepower. And your guide is Seer. See beyond the current situation. Pile number 3 is a throat chakra. If you want to go deeper to the throat chakra wisdom, I have even now published one of my course lesson in the front page of my Shadow Sister Healing. It's all about throat chakra powers. So if you're interested to go deeper, check that one, because it's one free lesson content. I have 7 chakra lesson videos, and this is now free to watch. But here is your pile 32. Moon. Beautiful pink colors here. Bottom of the deck is a Hermit. Shadow aspect of your reading. And this is the most important. Your guide is Sage. Be devoted and committed. So this is this kind of wise guru here. So these are your piles. We will ask the question in this reading, what is your path? And be within this reading is wisdom. Choices you make makes you. So when you choose your path, that's your path. So the choice is very important. Even now, which one you pick, this is your path. And stick to it. Commit to it. Anyway, let's go and see in the reading. I also, of course, have quotes from this last chapters. Today's episode's name is Exit. We are finishing this cycle, this book. And after this book, I will go through the Norse mythology. So this will be the next on the menu for the next week onward. I will go through some rune wisdom and Norse mythology. So now we are really saying bye-bye to the Greek wisdom, and maybe I have to say something about this Arcadia still, because I'm using the Arcadia in my spread. So so Arcadia is not single goddess, but rather a region in ancient Greece. This whole story was about studying the Greek and Eleusinian mysteries. So it's very meaningful. I'm using this spread today. So it's rather a region in ancient Greek, that became a powerful mythological and poetic symbol for idyllic pastoral paradise. It represents lost Eden, or perfect, harmonious, and unspoiled wilderness. That is exactly our intuitive capacities. Our intuition thrives in the nature. Our intuition thrives in the wild. This is a wild instinct. And this Arcadia is tapping into our intuitive skills. And so in Greek mythology, Arcadia was considered the domain of Pan, the god of the wild, shepherds, floods, and rustic. It was depicted as a sacred, untouched wilderness inhabited by nymphs, dryads, and other nature spirits. It was not viewed as a physical afterlife for mortals, but a terrestrial paradise, a garden protected by Pan. So it's also connected to golden age and idyllic unspoiled wilderness. The shepherds lived in harmony with nature, free from the contain of civilization. So something about that, but we are using this spread, and see you in your reading. Little wild rabbit here also showing in your reading. So we are tapping into this wild wisdom, what it could be now, advising what is the right path for you. So see you soon. So the sentence from this book for you, pile number 1, is, that was the last time I ever saw him. I wonder what I would show. I just say that these are placed now so that in the center of your Arcadia card spread is this guide, and this is guidance from the darkness, and this is guidance from the light. And we're gonna see it later in this reading. This is now central part of your reading. Yes, I think I will just read. He went on and on. Julian's silence was vast, arctic. So Henry is speaking here to Julian. And Ricardo is there too. A black buzzing noise echoed in my head. I can't stand this, I thought. I've got to leave. But still Henry talked, and still I stood there, and the sicker and blacker I felt to hear Henry's voice and to see the look on Julian's face. Unable to stand it, I finally turned to go. Julian saw me do it. Abruptly he cut Henry off. That's enough, he said. There was an awful pause. I stared at him. This is it, I thought, with kind of fascinated horror. He won't listen anymore. He doesn't want to be left alone with him. Julian reached into his pocket. The expression on his face was impossible to read. He took the letter out and handed it to Henrik. I think you better keep this, he said. He didn't get up from the table. The two of us left his office without a word. Funny, when I think about it now, that was last time I ever saw him. Henry and I didn't speak in the hallway. Slowly we drifted out, eyes averted like strangers. As I went down the stairs, he was standing by the windowsill on the landing, looking out blind and unseeing. Francis was panic-stricken when he saw the look on my face. "Oh no," he said. "Oh my God, what happened?" It was a long time before I could say anything. "Julian saw it," I said. "What?" "He saw the letterhead." Henry got it now. "How he get it?" "Julian gave it to him." Francis was jubilant. "He gave it to him. He gave Henry the letter." "Yes, and he's not going to tell anyone." "No, I don't think so." He was startled by the gloom in my voice. "But what's the matter?" he said shrilly. "You got it, didn't you? It's okay, everything is all right now, isn't it?" I was staring out the car window, at the window of Julian's office. "No," I said. "No, I don't really think that is it." Years ago, in an old notebook I wrote, "One of Julian's most attractive qualities is his inability to see anyone or anything in his true light." And under it, in a different ink, maybe one of my most attractive qualities as well. It was always been hard for me to talk about Julian without romanticizing him. In many ways, I loved him the most of all. And it is with him that I'm most tempted to embroider, to flatter, to basically reinvent. I think that is because Julian himself was constantly in the process of reinventing the people and events around him, conferring kindness, of wisdom, of bravery, or charm on actions which contained nothing of the sort. It was one of the reasons I loved him, for that flattering light in which he saw me, for the person I was when I was with him, for what it was he allowed me to be. Now, of course, it would be easy for me to wear the opposite extreme. I could say that the secret of Julian's charm was that he latched onto young people who wanted to feel better than everybody else, that he had a strange gift for twisting feeling of inferiority into superiority and arrogance. I could also say that he did this through altruistic motives, but selfish ones, in order to fulfill some egoistic impulse of his own. And I could elaborate on this at same length and why, with, I believe, a fair degree of accuracy, but still that would not explain the fundamental magic of his personality, or why, even in the light of subsequent events, I still have an overwhelming wish to see him the way that I first saw him, as the wise old man who appeared to me out of nowhere on a desolate strip of road, with a bewitching offer to make all my dreams come true. It's a beautiful thing that this is really like a guy, this Julian first, but now he is in the backside of this kind of magician curtain. But even in fairy tales, these kindly old gentlemen with their fascinating offers are not always what they seem to be. That should not be a particularly difficult truth for me to accept at this point, but for some reason it is. More than anything, I wish I could say that Julian's face crumbled when he heard what we have done. I wish I could say that he put his head on the table and wept. Wept for Bunny, wept for us, wept for the wrong turns and the life wasted. Wept for himself for being so blind, for having over and over again refused to see. And the thing is, I had a strong temptation to say he had done these things anyway, though it wasn't at all the truth. George Orwell, a keen observer of what lay behind the glitter on constructed facades, social and otherwise, had met Julian on several occasions and had not liked him. To a friend he wrote, "Upon meeting Julian Morrow, one has the impression that he is a man of extraordinary sympathy and warmth. But what you call his Asiatic serenity is, I think, a mask for great coldness. The face one shows him he invariably reflects back at one, creating the illusion of warmth and depth when in fact he is brittle and shallow as a mirror." Acton, this apparently Harold Acton, who was also in Paris then and a friend to both Orwell and Julian, disagrees. But I think he is not a man to be trusted. I have thought a great deal about this passage, also about particularly shrewd remark once made by of all people, Bunny. You know, he said, Julian is like one of those people that will pick all his favorite chocolates out of the box and leave the rest. This seems rather enigmatic on the face of it, but actually I cannot think of a better metaphor for Julian's personality. It is similar to another remark made to me once by George Laforgue on an occasion when I had been extolling Julian to the skies. Julian, he said curtly, will never be a scholar of the very first rate, and that is because he is only capable of seeing things on a selective basis. When I disagreed strenuously and asked what was wrong with focusing one's entire attention on only two things, if those things were art and beauty, Laforge replied, there is nothing wrong with the love of beauty, but beauty, unless she is wed to something more meaningful, is always superficial. It is not that your Julian chooses solely to concentrate on certain exalted things. It is that he chooses to ignore other equally as important. It's funny, in retelling these events, I have fought against a tendency to sentimentalize Julian, to make him seem very saintly because to falsify him in order to make our veneration of him seem more explicable, to make it seem something more, in short, than my own fatal tendency tried to make interesting people could. To good. And I know I said earlier that he was perfect, but he wasn't perfect, far from it. He could be silly and vain and remote and often cruel, and still we loved him, in spite of because. So this is the story for you. Somehow questioning the authority of this teacher who was really creating this sense of speciality in this class. They were chosen there. There were just usually 5 students. Now with Richard there were 6, and it was like a very small class and having this kind of special feeling of special, that they were different than others. And maybe it's a moral story of this whole thing, that the teacher do has a responsibility to keep people grounded. I remember early passage in this story, there was something about how intellectual people can use the intellectual wrong. There was something about that. Okay, I'm gonna search the passage because I think it's here. Yeah, it's here in the beginning, and it's from the Greek class. And it's a temptation for any intelligent person, especially for perfectionists such as the ancients and ourselves, to try to murder the primitive emotive appetite self. But that is a mistake. Why? Said Francis, leaning slightly forward. Julian arched an eyebrow. His long, wise nose gave his profile a forward tilt, like an Etruscan in a bas relief, because it is dangerous to ignore the existence of the irrational. The more cultivated a person is, the more intelligent, the more repressed, then the more he needs some method of channeling the primitive impulses he's worked so hard to subdue. Otherwise, those powerful old forces will mass and strengthen until they are violent enough to break free, more violent for the delay, often strong enough to sweep the will away entirely. For warning of what happens in the absence of such a pressure valve, we have the example of the Romans, the emperors. So it is like comparing the Greeks were different. They had passion for order and symmetry, much like the Romans, but they knew how foolish it was to deny the unseen world, the old gods, emotion, darkness, barbarism. He looked at the ceiling for a moment, his face almost troubled. Do you remember what we were speaking of earlier, of how bloody, terrible things are sometimes the most beautiful, he said. It's a very Greek idea and a very profound one. Beauty is terror. Whatever we call beautiful, we cur before it. And what could be more terrifying and beautiful to souls like the Greek or our own than to lose control completely? Yes. Yes, it's all going back to this kind of Greek lessons, but it is, I see this, it is healthy for people to have a balance in anything. And if we are going always mainly with this kind of AI and all this technology is very logic driven, we forget the spirituality and that this kind of values and moral principles and this kind of ritual that are made in the human sense. We lose a touch to the reality, let's say. Even we need this kind of non-realistic like practices to ground ourselves. It's really, this is really like a human need for the tribe to come together, to somebody to slap your face like, what are you doing? Like some older person in the family is seeing clearer than the younger. Like there has to be this kind of social consequence and conversation, and we are somehow losing that. This whole text made me think like how they disrespect their teacher too. They were not listening. He was there speaking to them about the dangers of getting into this kind of violent mindset, and still they went to the wrong path. So they really were learning the lessons of the Greek stories. He was for sure disappointed also for the students, but of course he was a bit kind of coward going away. Not taking responsible that he had possible put them also kind of all kind of ideas to these young big kids. Anyway, this was now this text I'm trying to reflect here. We have here this guide, trust your instincts. It's important to have that kind of natural part of your life. I think I start immediately before I turn this. I start this back. We're already long in the reading. My voice is is not so strong. Heart chakra is also don't fake it, be a true lover. Whatever that means. So we are using the sense in this reading. So what is your path? What do I hear about this path? What do I see about this path? What do I feel about this path? And what do I know about this path? Thank you. What do I hear? Wow. A lot of fire. Queen of fire. Passionate, positive queen. Fire burning. A lot of fire. I mean, these times, the war times and everything in the news, it feels like too much fire can be also bad, but this is intuitive, goddess. This is intuitive. There is some inside fire. I hear this kind of Aries fire, what I was mentioning here. We are now in the Aries season, and this is totally like Aries with a woman. And Arian season is a time to take new risks, while walk unfamiliar routes, and discover what we are capable of. This is the glow moment. I hear there is a real like glow moment, like you are getting on fire. That's it. You're really created to invite to create your own path and walk it alone if necessary. We need to take this kind of warrior path. Sounds a bit war war related, but that's what I hear. So I hear this kind of the fire is starting. The fire starter. I hear there's a fire starter. What do I see? Ooh, then there is this cold wind. Wow. This is totally opposite. This is like a putting off the fire. Hyytämöinen. Interesting. This would be totally some kind of path where it's hot and cold. Somebody is really passionate and somebody is really avoidant. So I see somebody is very cold here. Blowing off the fire. What do I see? Somebody want to blow off the fire. Okay, this moment I want to now. It's actually very good about seeing all this war in the world. Actually, this is not bad at all. That I see this cold coming. Maybe it needs to be, things need to be paused. There's even in the story of this Kompakkaan Kalevala stories, how do you tame the fire horse? We have currently fire horse here. How do you tame it? You put a cold wind over it. You are cooling it off and then you tame it. So you have to cool off the fire. And somehow I see this cooling off happening now. It's too much fire. You see. And of course, this is like a stalemate situation. The soldier is fallen and it's like laying on top of the grave. Or this classic image is like somebody is just taking a pause. It can be even like a depression, like somebody has to really go through some hard wind. It's hard to address that. You see that hard. It's not easy fight. Yeah, a fight for no reason, defeat, pride, being too proud, uhoaminen, like a just vengeful like just being shaking your fist and being wanting to have vengeance and wasting the energy and needing to change the direction and misunderstanding and aselepo. That's a good thing. Like you should put down the weapons. Is happening in this part. No more fight rather than rest is needed. So here there's a lot of this passion fire, but I see this rest is coming. So in this Kalevala story, the Lemminkäinen was fighting against the North, and the whole trip went sour, and the boat got frozen in the sea, and they could not get forward. The power of the opponent was too strong. And when we were fighting against the windmills, literally, and yes, so it's a conflict. There's a conflict situation. This is the wrong direction. Yes, you can change. You have to change the wind. When the wind changes the direction, the obstacles go away. So are you fighting? I see there is a fighting against the windmills. There is something that is it's not for your benefit here. Okay, what do I feel? Okay, this is a foresight. Interesting, this is like a mirroring card of this. If this is 4, this is 6, this is much more forward. And this is usually healing happens. The healing happens about having a vision. So stick on that vision. I'm gonna read also the story from here. So you have a foresight of something, intuition, you get messages in your dream. Being present is important. This is now how you feel. Sudden changes, protection, mind that is receptive, a supernatural communication, guidance, and being considerate. So Etienne is like an invisible twin person of yourself, or a fairy that might sometimes show up. And some people had very strong fairy, and that fairy would know things before it happened. So this is really this kind of prophecy that you are able to see forward. So everybody have this kind of double twin fairy, and it can help you see future clear. There is some change happening, or amazing important thing happening in your life. The fairy is trying to communicate that you have to stay alert and be prepared for the new. If you feel like you need to do something or go somewhere, don't protest this feeling. Trust what your intuition is saying and guiding you or warning you about. So this is giving you choices before they happen. And there can be a road signs on your way, this kind of little intuitive hints. Interesting about finding your path reading, and we are having this position that you have to feel those signs before you even see those crossroads. But trust your instincts and trust this inner guidance. And if you feel a synchronization, it's a clear sign from the guidance. There is no chance in the universe. If you are on the path of success, you will have a lot of synchronities. Door after door is opening and new opportunities are popping up, the more you go in the right direction. Trust your life and your own instincts. Yes, you have to feel this, what is right for you, and go that direction. Okay, right, the heart is here also. I think you have to listen to your heart. Feel your heart. Then you have the knowing position. All this again talking about the war. So Two of Wands is of course plans and travel plans, but there is this person holding a globe. Usually here is a story of how iron got mad when it was made in the smith workshop, and it got the wrong kind of coating. There's supposed to be honey, and it was some shitty killer hornet shit that it got, and it got mad, and the women start to fight. So definitely there is this war in this reading. You are seeing that kind of conflict in the world. I think you have to understand to keep your own home safe, and your own house can be your own self also. Let's see now the guidance of the darkness. Is 27 wolf, and the light is the fairies. Interesting, this was also connected to fairies. This is definitely some kind of like a gentle spirit trying to keep you on the right track. Before we go to the final animal guardian, I'm gonna read about the wolf. Wolf is a beautiful, wise pack leader. Somehow I get this Aries season and this kind of person here. You might be the trailblazer who go first on some path. It's not going to be easy to be that kind of pack leader. The guardians are guiding you to possibly even hold your horses When you see something, it's called cold is good here. It's good to be calm. Okay, the wolf here looks a little bit like a cold energy as well. It's advice from the dark. The alpha female wolf stands tall upon the hill, the pack following her lead as they emerge into the night from the winter wood. She is leading the pack to safer ground during the winter. The night is clear and illuminated by the full moon hanging low the sky. Crow flies above. The wolf's deep blue eyes look straight into you, seeing who you truly are inside. Spirals of the energy of all living beings are visible on her forehead and the land itself. This pack, this community, this land are connected, the energies flowing constantly between them, each sustaining the other. Wolves are devoted and loyal to their packs. They form tight-knit communities that can take on large prey successfully where a single wolf alone would fail. When wolf appears, it is time to think about your own community. Do you feel the pull of community and need for connection and social order? Are you aware of the blessings and connections in front of you, or do you push back at what is being offered? Where in your life have you tried to do things alone instead of asking for aid? Fool speaks of loyalty, of kinship, and the strength that can be found in community. Wolf reminds us we are not alone. As the son of the land, the wolf also reminds us to see the connection between us, the land, and all things. Yes, I think there is really, this is also, you are not alone. But even this is talking about like a trailblazer, somebody's going alone. Fundamentally, you are part of some community too. So don't see yourself so alone. Yeah, but wise within dark, there is a lot what you don't see. But the light advice is from the fairies. Let me find this. So this is advice from the light. The fairies that inhabit the forest differ markedly from the portrayed in Disney stories. They are more akin to those of fairy tales, beautiful or frightening creatures, emanation of the natural spirit of the woods. The card you drawn connects you to this type of energy, this unblended wilderness that you need today. Nature's desire, the leaves with their rustling, the oak that hushes the squirrel, the fairy that watches you at dusk, dressed in horizon blue, all answer your question. Yes. Winter is arresting. I think the peace will come with this kind of winter energy. Calm, stay calm as winter, like a pure snow. Pure snow. To see that energy as I needed. Okay, now we got this animal guardian for you. It's the final. You have to find it. This is so far difficult. And if this first reading comes too long, I think I have to publish this in separate readings again. I don't want to do too long readings. This is now part 1. Guidance. The message is: trust the powerful animal spirit within to learn more about yourself and your talents. The wolf was already showing up here as one. Animal Guardian is the card that represents the angels of the animal kingdom. Animals are angels of nature who have incredible lesson to offer and medicine that can support you on your spiritual journey and help you survive some of your greatest challenges. When you connect with the energies of animals, you can learn a lot about yourself and the earth. I think very clearly you got a wolf and pack leader energy. So that is your guide, to be like a wolf. You also have an instinctive animal energy within you that can direct you toward everything you need and more. And you have a powerful animal within that can be wild, protective, instinctive, and even calm. Animals don't second guess how they feel, they just express it, and you can learn from that. Yes. So definitely it's clear the animal that show up is wolf. And wolf have very clear instincts for sure. Maybe we verify a little bit. I took here the Secret Forest. And I didn't use this deck in this reading as a deck, but I saw already on this kind of edge this warrior with a tree, and it already made me think about some kind of situation where you would be pushed to the edge. Where can you go from this kind of position? This is Two of Swords. When if some people are chasing you on the edge, where can you go? So just seeing this, maybe this is the right deck to use here. Let me give much more guidance still with the wolf wanna say you for your path that you're taking, because you do have here, this is not Two of Swords, this is Two of Wands. This is about trailing this kind of fire part, passionate path that is very showing here too, but it in this card is related to war, when people start to fight with each other. Somehow this whole intuitive is wanting to give clarity to the fact that there has to be some cooling off. Even the wolves are in the snow. But what could now this animal guardian have a message for you? What you are aware and what you are not aware of your situation. Let me show this moon. You're not aware. And what you are aware of your situation. Both are 3 cards. Interesting. You got 32. You got. So you're not aware of how this goes forward. This is the 3 of Wands. Well, this card was showing very similar energy, like this is 6 of Swords, but the meaning of the card was seeing future. Is very similar than here, seeing a future visions. I'm gonna read from the booklet what this deck is gonna say, but you're not aware of somehow I really see this kind of like a racket flying on the here. There is some kind of, this is already war card, and this is the next fire is even more. Start from the earth, go to the sky. There's this kind of too much fire. You're not aware, but you're aware of 3 of Cups, which is connection to relationships and connections between humans. Okay, let's read these cards. This is advice from your animal. So even the fox is here, is usually wanting to give a clarity. 3 of Wands in this deck means, this is going, yes. Wonder, surprising emotions, thoughts when faced with infinity. Look at this wolf wanna show you the bigger picture, the infinity. Like I love I'm currently reading Ken Wilber's book, Theory of Everything, and I'm just in the beginning of the book, but it was saying this sentence like, universe is like one song. We're all part of the same song. What I know about just education that I have followed, like just this wisdom about kids, that if kids sing a same song, their hearts start to beat the same rhythm. The songs are really like a wolf would be howling and connecting with the wolf pack. The same as humans. Human has to sing a song to be connected. Something about this. Wonder, surprising emotions, thoughts when faced with infinity. This becomes like a song. Unifying song. What is that you don't see? And that would be extremely like that kind of looking into sky. We all have the same sky. We should look for the things that unite and not what separates us. The animal kingdom wisdom would be that what is uniting everybody together, even if you are like a black panther or like a crow. Like every animal could be predators also against each other, but what brings us together? We are all in the same urge. Something about that same song. We have the same song here, urge song. And then three of, it's going to be really ideological now. Three of Cups. You are aware, positivity, emotional sharing, serene thoughts. I think the wolf wanna ask you to understand this kind of power of the heart and the positivity in the heart. It's much more higher energy than negativity. The advice comes always from the positives and connection. If we are as a humans, we are in the wrong part. We isolate, we disconnect, we fear each other. All these things are like negative things. When we are together, we connect, we sing the same song, we come together, we understand to love everybody. We are like a loving, truly everybody, not excluding anybody. Happy home comes here. Okay, let me verify a little bit of them. I didn't even show you the darkness. Oh my god, we talk about so much darkness, and this reading was supposed to show always you the crime and shadow. Okay, show me now the darkness. What is the darkness here now we have to deal with? Okay, 5 of Swords, walking away, to escape, to give up the fight, inner saboteur, progress, ruin, success. Maybe in this war situation, walking away is a good thing. But inner saboteur, if you're committed to something about walking a path of love and light and all, and then you are walking away of that, that would be saboteur. So I think you have to remember this kind of, what is your tribe? What do you belong to? This is your path. You're not walking away from our path. You're walking our path. Your path seems to be somebody who is making connections, is able to see the bigger picture, is able to have foresight, is able to be loving. And this fight is, there's this fight. I think I have to read that story of the iron thing, because otherwise we're not gonna get the wisdom of it. bone or iron. This could be a good thing. It would be like a brave initiatives, developing something, developing ideas, taking responsibility, being objective, or like keen and noticing things and developing a culture. But then we have here the ahjo was the smith's like a hard place where the things were made. And there was also a fairy in there, and that fairy might be very powerful. So if the fairy didn't want, the fire would not catch on. So this Ilmarinen Smith was doing all kind of tools for the gods, but hardly got any thanks from doing this. He made the golden thing to make the fields. He was doing all kind of stuff and never got a thank you. Even a money machine. Yes, there was this story about how Iron has born in heaven, where three nature spirits were milking the milk from their breast. One of the kids got the black milk, other the white milk, and the third the blood one. When the youngest brothers and the oldest was the water and the fire, the middle one, the youngest Iron met the older brother. Fire was gonna burn the fire, so the iron got hide itself to a swamp, and the smith found it from the swamp, and then brought it into the smith place and was making something out of it. And it wanted to get out of the fire, and it would make an oath that it would never rise against its brothers or the human being, and would just eat the stone and the tree to get out of this place. But then it was almost finished this work. I was promising to be good. And then she got the wrong coating. Got the shitty one, not with the some killer hornet was putting wrong, like here this heard these things and put wrong stuff into the smith workshop. And then the smith took the wrong product, and the iron got mad that the water was ruined. It's not the right one, and then since then it has turned against the brothers and sisters and got mad. So, but the smith himself could think creatively, could develop the idea longer, and was very eager to test what he found from the swamp, this material. He was just too trusting that this killer hornet bee was bringing the right ingredients, was not the bee, was camouflage a bee, and then didn't question that more. Rauta, the iron, was having a hot temper and would immediately eat his promise when was not respected. So who had the responsibility that the iron start to blood, like make people suffer with the wars? Was it iron or the human beings who used it against each other? So iron can take many kind of shapes and serve the people and the masters. The human beings are responsible how they handle the iron. This card is advising you to take responsibility of your own doings and what you have done. The anger and the disagreements in going extremes are causing wars. You have multiple options that you can take clear these conflicts, avoid the conflicts, that peace would be there. If somebody is proud or self-centered, these are the qualities that make the iron in human hands turn it against the brothers and sisters. So the collaboration with other human beings is especially important, and I think that is the advice of the animal card. Good connection to other people, other human connection. This is what is needed here in your path. You have to have a good connection. You cannot be going always to lit some fires and make a mess. You have to take responsibility, you have to be responsible. And this is also to seeing more steps ahead, seeing forward, not reactive. Respond, not react. That's part of your path. You have to be taking time, cool off. That is message here. Cool off. Okay. One more verify. Let me verify this cool off moment. What is here? The kitty cards wanna say. Number one, your path. What that looks like the cool off. Whatever is the situation. King of Wands. Okay. So you have here the queen, the very sexy queen on the other side, and the sexy king on the other side. Again, the fire king is here. Just consider like the snow part of your and the cooling off part of your toolkit. You're anyway somebody who wanna bring more light and more like possibly even creativity into this world. Sometimes you have to take a break. You cannot always be forcing something. This is like a mastering energy here. So how you master this fire that you are not burning everything away, or like it's getting out of control, let's say. Yes. You have to master the fire. How about the path itself, the guidance, still one more in the middle. Hierophant. Wow, there is really cat in the box. Spiritual teacher. There's a mastery of these values. It's a teacher energy here. Being a teacher, you have to have somebody who mentors you, possibly. This could be part of your path. Seek for this kind of good mentor. Hierophant. It's part of having also faith. These all kind of values and systems coming together. I think this is somebody who would indeed be able to talk about everything also in a like we had in this text. I see now a link here. There was this Julian Noiro teacher who was teaching the Greek class. There's also this kind of master energy here. Yeah, your path is to find the right kind of teachers, guides, who have wisdom for sure, who know what they're talking about, who have a, like a lot of knowledge. Animal guardian, trust your instincts. Could be a religious leader too, but this is somebody who is able to make connections about stuff. I'm a little bit pondering here still. It's a long reading. I'm gonna verify one more with the tarot card. That's why this kind of war stuff comes so much in this knowing position. Why we need to talk about this 2 of Wands so much. Wheel of Fortune. Karma card. The change is happening. It's really emphasized this Jupiter energy. Whatever you put energy in, it expands. So do you want to put energy to some fights or disagreements or something like that? In your path, understand that where you put energy, it is increasing. Of course, currently the Jupiter is in Cancer, is in exactly this kind of home related matters. So you should understand it's important to have this kind of safe home base. Maybe for some country it can mean homeland security even. But one more wolf advice. One more wolf advice. Show me the spiritual guidance. Okay, the same card. So it is coming such a powerful King of Wands together again with the Queen of Wands. There is really leadership in the fire. Aries energy. How you train your own path. Maybe you are somebody who takes risks. We are currently just on the Aries season. Time to take new risks, walk unfamiliar routes, and discover what we are capable of. I don't want to encourage anything dangerous, but here we have fortune favors the brave, and mistakes are not failures but information. So indeed, you have to see any mistake as information. But your path is having, first of all, in the central spiritual leader, you can be yourself, bringing more light to people. It's totally bringing a light worker. But the King of Wands is here, and here is repeating. And even what you know, you hear is kind of this fire. Fire cards are a lot here. So fire is connected to action. We have currently fire horse here also. Things are moving. What is maybe then is the balance, like how much one can burn for something. How consuming is that? So you need to have a little like a rest also. And not burn the bridges. Connect these kind of connections, not burn the bridges. Definitely you are dealing here with the Fire King. Somebody who's really creative, who get things done, possible Aries kind of type. Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. It's a leadership type. So it's kind of qualities of leadership, especially this kind of teacher qualities are here emphasized. Cat from the box. It's like a meow. Somebody has things to say. How to be balanced, how to be how to even have a sixth sense about stuff. Because they're stuck here. Cat energy. Okay, I think I'm needing to take one more thing here with the reading. Current feelings of your person. Oh, yeah. A little bit. Oh, there was one more this kind of love note left here. I tried to put them off, but what is here? Current feelings of a person. Cosmos hangs together, unified by a single process. It's a universe, one song. Ken Wilber. Wow, this card came here, what I was just reading. Yes, unity concept is important. I stay in the darkness with you because I love you. Wow. True shadow love. Yes, you, every breath you take, the police, every move you make, every step you take, I'll be watching you. You are a powerful dragon. Okay, this is the police song, but something about this war energy is still here, like police is watching you. Control society, oh my god. And what is the love message here? Love is like the wind. You can't see it, but you can feel it. Nicholas Sparks. Feel it. You cannot see it, but you can feel it. Wow. Maybe for some people you really have to understand this kind of true shadow love. Sometimes things are dark, but you can feel it. Feel it in your heart. Okay, this was the first reading. I think I will do another reading in a separate one. I hope you liked it. I just see currently so much of this King of Wands here that is like completely this Aries qualities are coming through. And one of the sentence I have read in my cards about Aries is like, we will find a way. When the Aries is a good leader, like a daddy, he will know he's not a tyrant, he's a good king. And we need these good kings in this world. And something on your path is to recognize who is the good king, who is the bad leader. There's all this thing. Who is the good one? Okay, thank you for seeing this reader. And this was the last one of the secret history. Wow.